Hi everyone, myself Bhagyashree and today I am going to discuss about the validation forms in Angular, how we have to be validate the forms in Angular. So that is a very important part because if any application you are creating, there is a mandatory which we have to be validate the things or validate the inputs which will be like compulsory. Without validating, if you are creating any forms, that will be not useful. Anything, anyone can put any random data and they are trying to submit that. So in the backend side, when we are sending those type of data, that is dirty data, and I will say that is not proper formatted data. And for inserting those type of data in backend side, it should be not good for the good application. Because of that, this validation is a very important part. So I have to be discuss and what is the like main reason and how many forms we are creating over there, then how we are validating those forms which we are creating in the Angular application. So let's start for that. Okay, for the example, in the Angular application, we have a two types of form: template driven form and reactive forms. So in the template driven forms, you see like we have a static type of input fields which we have to be normally validate those fields as a statically, not dynamically. And this type of form which we are creating in the template driven, that is useful for the like small to medium type, not for the enterprise of level of the application. So in that scenario, if you have a requirement, you can go with the template driven form. Otherwise, if you have an enterprise level or big application, that is complex application, you should choose the reactive form because you have more control on that, more validation on that, more customization over there. So this is the scenario where we have to be use this type of form. So right now what we understood: template driven form and reactive forms, when we have to be use what types of form. Okay, now I have to be discuss about the validation. This is very important parts. While creating any form, it is like very important parameter for the input element, as it prevent the user from entering the any wrong information in the form data. So validation in Angular form are two types. One is like I will say built-in validation, and other is like custom validation. So validation for the template driven form, what we have to be do, like I normally use, that is I'm already given the some sample here in the form. You see I have like first required, like this is validation, make user input mandatory. Then we have a minimum length, maximum length, email, mean, max. Minimum maximum length, you see you have to be like when we are creating the like mobile phone validation, so you have minimum like 10 digit or maximum 10 digit. Similarly for credit card also, if you are creating any form, any financial banking form, if anyone want to go with the payment option, you have to be goes fill this those input field when we have to be send credit card purpose. So that time this length validation will be a very important. So you see you have to be use this type of validation over there. Then this mean max, like we have to be validate, is defined like maximum number as the input value. So for the example, you see in this form we have a input name, then it is like normally you have to give the your name. Then second I have email, and in the email also, when we are putting any email, we have to be proper use this @, format, properly Gmail domain or any other domain you want to put. So sometimes user is like only giving the xyz.com, they are not including the address. So I have to be validate those address also, if the user is putting those address, those character, special character or not. So that is also I have to put it here. See, I have used like a small ngf character if email dot error is not our email as a properly what I mentioned. And similarly, I have to be created the like minimum age should be 18 when we have to be go for the voting purpose. Similarly, maximum age for the senior citizen, minimum age for this young generation. Like any form, just I'm given the scenario where we have to be use this type of validation. So this is about the validation which we are using for the template driven form. And after putting this validation, we have to be go for the submit button and have to be check it is a valid or not. If it is a valid, then we have to go for the submit. Otherwise, we have to be go with the pop-up like please fill this mandatory field as per the expected format. Now I have second option, reactive forms. In the reactive forms, what are the validator we are have to be use?